at 20, at 30, at 40, and 50. At 70, whatever age you are, God never stops speaking to you. I don't care where you are. Any place in your life, the Holy Spirit will speak to you. So I was sitting at my kitchen counter, and I'm sitting there. I had been receiving voices a lot since I was a young girl, and I wrote this paper out here because I want to stay on task because on topic. I have a tendency of going off a little bit and taking so much time. But when I was a young girl, I remember my mom. I would always say, "I heard the voice. I want to do this. I'm going to do that." And I didn't, I know it was God, and I just knew, but I would hear His voice. Well, I was sitting at my kitchen bar, and I heard His voice. It normally comes like whispers, little whispers. This voice was real urgent and quick, and I literally said, "Put your hand on your breast. You have a lump. Put your hand on your breast. You have a lump." And I reached over quickly. How did I know which hand to use, where to go exactly? And I immediately went to the location. Bam. And I felt this lump, and it was the size of a quarter. I said, "Have mercy. What is this?" It wasn't like it was a scratch, it was an itch or anything like that. Nothing. It was just simply that little voice, the Holy Spirit, guided me to this lump that I needed to find at that time. Sure enough, again, I followed up with it that day, went to the doctor and found out 2 weeks later that it was breast cancer. And that was the beginning of the journey. I went public on Facebook. So because in my mind, oh, you gotta be kidding me. My mother had breast cancer. So I'm gonna stop right there because some of you are gonna think that because my mother had it, yes, you're gonna get it. No, it's a myth. It's not true. If you live the same lifestyle, yes. If you still eat the same foods, the same processed package, dairy, all the stuff that they have changed, and you're not detoxing. And who knew about detox? I didn't know anything about that, but I didn't know. 48 at the time when I was diagnosed. 48, didn't know. I'll be 51 in 3 months actually, so it's going on 2.5 years. I didn't know, but if you live the same lifestyle as your parents, it's going to, we all have cancer cells. You're all sitting here looking at me, you all have cancer cells. Something triggers it. Something triggered mine, and I thought I was doing everything right. So because I knew my mom had it, I was 16 years old, I made sure I exercised extra precaution. I thought about it intermittently throughout my life, and I made sure when I started, I think I was about 38, I started going to the doctor, doing my annual checkups every year, and I learned afterwards that increases your risk by 2%. So it was about time. I would eat right. I didn't eat meat. I didn't eat chicken. I was like a vegetarian, so every now and then I would treat myself and have a little oxtail, maybe a little chicken, a little Chinese food. Oh my gosh, to think what I know now, it ain't happening again, trust me. What I know now, I exercised. I left a stressful job as a police officer because I knew that stress would contribute to cancer. There was police officers who would retire, and I would learn that they would have cancer, and they died. They didn't get to enjoy their pension. I was like, oh, not me. That ain't gonna be me. I'm leaving this job. I'm gonna enjoy my life. Make sure I do what makes me happy because I'm a singer. I also sang for the police department, and I sang at the White House with then President Bill Clinton. So after that, I was like, really? What am I gonna? I'm gonna go back and sing and for community breakfast. I mean, it's nice, but I just finished singing at the White House. It's time to really go after the dream and the blessing that God has showed me. What I'm able to do. Sure enough, so I did all these things. I exercised. I became a teacher. I started a music school. I taught myself to play instruments, 10 instruments to be exact. I taught my children how to play. I got 2 master's degrees, one in education and administration. I was just and I traveled, I don't want to say around the world, but I've been around the world, China, Japan, Portugal, Paris, Europe. My goal is really to go to Africa. I haven't gone there yet, but that's where I want to go. Just saying. So I was doing everything that I thought was cool and that I enjoyed, and God's blessed me, and I've been listening to that little voice. That little voice is what allowed me to do all that I've been doing. Somehow I think I missed the little voice. I did not miss the little voice because I remember when, prior to finding this lump the size of a quarter, It was January when I felt a tiny little lump. And I said, "Doctor, do you feel that?" He said, "No, I don't feel anything." Right here. And he kept feeling, no. He said, "Would you like to have a mammogram?" I said, yeah, thanks. He gave me a referral. 3 months later, I did it, and then hence the story that I showed you up front earlier, that it told me I was okay, and it wasn't. But nevertheless, I did feel it. So that little voice had spoken to me then. I might have missed it. And God speaks to us in different ways, whether it be watching a program on television, someone showing up in your life. In the world, they call it alchemy. People show up in your life to take you to the next journey. That's God's doing, to take you to the next level of where you need to go. Same thing with me and being at the White House and then my goal as a police officer, I was going to become the singing police officer. The little black girl from the hood with the kinky curly hair and the dark skin was going to become a household name on the police department. That was my goal. Had no brother, sister, no mother, nobody in a job. But that was in my head. The Holy Spirit told me that. And sure enough, in 2 years, that's exactly what happened. So I began to trust that little inner voice. I was diagnosed with breast cancer, 2016, July. I found myself in this extraordinary whirlwind, this journey of how am I going to heal this? How am I going to handle this? I could play 10 instruments. I did all of these amazing things. I've traveled the world, and now I've got cancer. Really? How? What? And it took me for a little spin. I didn't understand it. And then that night, the Holy Spirit said, "Ruby, actually, after I shared on Facebook what was going on, I told everyone I had cancer because I knew that if I could get it, all of my friends who were watching me and we were sharing with, somebody's going to get cancer next. Because I did everything right, or so I thought I did. I knew it. I just said I had to tell everybody. Because if that's the case, they don't have to watch me die. All the way to the end, because it wasn't, it wasn't me. Something went wrong here, and I got to figure this out. But I don't know, but I'll get ready to go through the process. But the Holy Spirit woke me up about 2 in the morning, and I sat up, and now I'm thinking, okay, I have cancer. What am I going to do? And I looked up at my wall. I have all of these guitars, the banjo, ukulele, cello, violin, the bass, piano. Because my room is my just my music space. It's like that's what my bedroom looks like. And the little voice said, "Go online and just start doing some research. If you can learn how to play all these instruments, you can figure out what's happening." And I said to myself, "Okay." I went online, went to Facebook, and the first video that popped up was a video called The Truth About Cancer. The Truth About Cancer, I watched this video, and in this video it talked about low vitamin D. It was talking about black women. Low vitamin D leads to thyroids, and thyroid is what happened. I had 6 months prior to the cancer, I had a thyroid issue. I was like, what's going on? My body's falling apart. Oh my gosh. And I couldn't even sing. I was seeing a speech pathologist, someone to teach me how to speak properly, and because maybe I had ruined my voice. So little did I know that my immune system was not working well anyway at this point. Everything was just starting to fall apart. And I said, you've got to be kidding me. All of these amazing things that we do, we have the beautiful house, the cars, the degrees, we're so proud of what we're able to do, and sometimes we don't take time to care about one another, but yet, all it didn't mean anything. Because now I was facing something that I didn't know how to fight. And no one could help me but God. I watched this video. And when I saw the video, The Truth About Cancer, it was my story. And in this story, when he talked about the black women African American women who, low vitamin D. What did I say? Low vitamin D, thyroid. And it leads to breast cancer, which was me. That was my story. And then he talked about the clinic that they used to help people who are going through this. And they talked about the Immunity Therapy Clinic in Mexico. And when I heard it, it was that same feeling that I got when I knew that I was going to go to the White House. When I knew that I was going to become the singing police officer. When I knew that I was going to start a music school and teach my children how to play and that they would run this school. It was that same feeling. And I said, I had to trust it. So this is also about learning to trust your instincts, trust the Holy Spirit, be guided by that, and that's your journey. And I said, okay, I'm going to Mexico. Didn't know how I was going to get the money. I knew I had a little something saved up from the police department because I retired. It wasn't a lot, trust me. Called up my friend and said, I'm going to Mexico. I'll figure out, because by this point I had already knew that if whatever I put my mind to, I can do it. Whatever the Holy Spirit has gotten, it's going to get done. It is done. Sure enough, I put together a GoFundMe. The treatment was $20,000. So I'm going to the Immunity Therapy Clinic. The treatment was $20,000 for the treatment alone. Then you have the airfare and other things. Everything came to about maybe somewhere about $3,000. I had $15,000, and I knew that wasn't enough. That sounds like a lot, right? How many of you know $15,000 is not a lot of money? It is not a lot of money. Actually, I went to the bank. The guy he said, I can get it for you next week, which was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. Normally it takes a little bit longer, and I was leaving the following week to go to Mexico because the doctor said they could not do my treatment for me then. They'll do surgery and everything in about a month and a half. A month, like September was July. She said she'll do it in September. And I was like, bingo, I had time to think, time to work on something, figure something out. Let me go to Mexico for a month, so I had to go quickly. The bank could tell us that he'd be able to get it for me the following week. I knew that was God. I did a GoFundMe. My GoFundMe raised about $15,000, if not more. I shared it with the world because it was about my life and sharing what happened to me. And I didn't understand that I needed to share with the world. Okay, so it's me. I'll be the guinea pig. Let's do this. That was my fear. And sure enough, I was there. And here's the treatment. So I get to Mexico. I'm there with all of these other white people, maybe about 2 black people in this place, in this clinic. I said, wow. And they were from all over the United States, all over the world actually as well, but a lot of people from the States in there, and myself. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is something. This is where people are coming to heal themselves. And the reason why they're there is because the things that they practice cannot be practiced in the States. So for example, here are some of the treatments. DMSO. What is DMSO? I'm just gonna share it, and if you just jot it down, and maybe we can figure out a way how to get it to you because you don't have to do the research. But did high doses of DMSO intravenous, vitamin C intravenous, B17, which is illegal in the States, Rife machine, hyperbaric chamber, hydrotherapy, which is heating. They did a lot of heating protocols that takes the body, takes the cells and heat them up to like just really levels where it kills the bad cells, but it doesn't damage the good cells. We did do low dose chemo. I barely felt it. Actually, I think I did felt it. I did feel it, and I was like, oh, this is like, ooh, it kind of felt kind of weird. I don't know what it's like to be on drugs, but I would imagine that's what it might have felt like because it was low dose chemo. There's something called a Beamer, alkaline water, and the food was organic. And I'm sure there's pretty much we had saunas that we did as well. We laid on a Vitamat. Heat, everything was heat induced. And when I came, and so I was taking notes the entire time, took notes, everything. When I came back home, and while I was there, so now I raised this money, so I had to show everybody what this money was going towards. So as I was there, I was literally just documenting everything. Guys, listen, I'm doing the hyperbaric chamber right now, or we're doing a Rife machine and a Rife machine. So I was educating and sharing in my hotel room, eating, showing what I was eating and talking about the alkaline water and all of the things that we were doing. So I was taking notes. It was like being in school again. That kept me excited. Even though I was scared, but I didn't want to entertain the thought of not being able to heal myself and letting God be in charge. God know why He put me through this, so I was just prepared for the journey. That's it. I'm going through this journey. And when I came back, it's a 21-day detox. I came back home, and after sharing everything on Facebook, my friends put me on to individuals. So check this out. I'm sharing information, and people are sharing back with me. Go, Ruby, yes, that's what you have to do. Oh, don't trust this. It was like dialogue. I had friends with me all the time. It was really exciting. I really appreciate it. I said, now this is what we should be doing for one another. It was amazing. I came back home, they put me on to another doctor, Carolyn. And this was a health and wellness center. And I just told you how much money I spent. But I'm going to tell you this. When I got back, someone said, Ruby, because now I'm looking for a maintenance. I want to continue doing what it was that I was doing there. How do I continue this? I had bought, I bought a lot of the equipment because I said to myself, okay, I'm going to buy this because somebody's going to get sick when we're at home. A friend, a family, and they're going to need this kind of treatment. So I did max out my credit cards and bought a lot of the equipment. I bought a rice machine. I bought a lot of equipment. I looked at my little room. I said, this is going to be the room where I'm going to help someone. They're going to come in here and I'm going to go right through the process of healing and treating them. Just alternatively, and just helping them, get to a space. Because it's really, you walk a fine line when you're telling people that you can cure them. We're not curing. I'm not saying that we cure. You got it. You're treating, you're helping, you're assisting their immune system. Because that could be a lawsuit. We're not saying that we cure anybody. We're just saying that God's way is the way. So we're focusing on going to heaven, the spiritual aspect. You're not thinking about your body, the physical. That's just as important, ladies and gentlemen. Just as important. Why are we just discarding or not acknowledging what God has put on it back to Eden? I have all these tons of books. I bought books like you would not believe it. I just knew that this was my next journey. My 50 was going to bring this. I didn't think I was going to make it to 50. I was still, but I knew I'm going to make it, and this is the next level for me to help and share and help others and heal others. When I got back, her name was Carolyn. She had a wellness center. Someone on Facebook told me about her. I went to her space, her place, beautiful storefront, and she's a nurse, and she also practices alternative wellness treatment and things of that sort. She had this device, computer. So I sat down, and I didn't tell her anything that was going on, because I'm born in America. I trust and know that the way things work is medicine and the doctors. That's the bottom line. Doctors, not Jesus. Doctors who are just like any one of you here with a lot of knowledge, but yet they're human beings, and they are still dying of the same things. We in the church are dying of the same things as the people in the world. We haven't, yes. I didn't tell her anything because I was a doctor's girl. I've always gone to the doctor. You have a cough, sneeze, back pain, something, let's go to the doctor. That was my thing. When I sat down with her, she opened up this laptop. Well, I think it was already open. She has a huge computer. And she attached these apparatus to me. It's something simple, just one little piece here. And then she had this little other handle. It was like she would touch the meridians. I didn't even know we had meridians. I didn't even know what meridians were. But what I learned is that these meridians actually are connected to our organs, and it can tell you everything that's happening in your body. And at the end of the test, it also tells you that you can see, make recommendations. See your oncologist, your cardiologist, your general practitioner. It tells you who to see because maybe certain issues in your body needs some monitoring. So we definitely do that. That's what she did. So when she checked me, she saw everything that was happening in my body, from my thyroid to the Bartholin cyst that I had developed in my uterus area from all the toxins just kind of resting in that area. She saw that, and I had just occurred when I came back because they were detoxing, and it didn't come out. It kind of landed down there somewhere. She saw that. She saw my immune system. She saw my mammary glands there was something happening there, and I was impressed. And she became my doctor, or my go-to person. I won't say doctor, but this has been my holistic nurse that I would go to maintain my health and wellness, because I knew that the doctors also have, the doctors, they tried their best, and the only alternative they had for me was chemotherapy and radiation, and I was not doing it. I declined. And they would call me, and they would harass me, And because, if you know, chemotherapy costs a lot of money. Chemotherapy costs a lot of money. So we need as much money as possible, even for the simplest diagnosis of a cancer. When maybe we just have to work on healing our immune system. I saw this woman, I've been seeing her and another woman for the past 2.5 years. I did finally see my doctor somewhere just to kind of get an idea what was happening. But honestly speaking, I know that these women and the holistic alternative route, God's way, was the only way that I wanted to try. To this day, there's 3 women that I've spoken, that I met personally, and there's so many people who was diagnosed since then with breast cancer or cancer in general. And I'm always happy to share my story with them. 3 women in particular who've been able to save their breast. I did have a double mastectomy. You might want to know why I had a double mastectomy. Well, they say that when they test it, they go, oh, you have the BRCA gene. BRCA means if this one has it, the other one's going to have it. I'm going to tell you right now, you really have to, I want to say that it's not. You have to really build your immune system to heal your body. But when I was going through all of the stuff that I was going through, juggling the study, the movement, the reading, the this, it was a lot. Let me tell you what happened. I tell you I follow signs, right? So I'm just going to be the last part of the story. I was 38, and I was watching television. The news, I was getting ready for school. I think I was a teacher at this time. I was pressing my clothes, and the news was saying, we're encouraging blacks and minorities and Hispanics to do more colonoscopies. And I said, ooh. I had an appointment 3 times for a colonoscopy because I was going through, I was having constipation and hemorrhoids because I had just recently had children. And I'm saying maybe that's the reason for it, but I'm going to tell you right now, if we're eating all the food out there, we're not eating the things that's going to help us have a good movement, it'll happen. But nevertheless, so I said, oh my gosh, I need to, when I heard it, I knew that was the Spirit saying, go and do your test. And do not miss this appointment. And I said, that's it. I'm going to make this appointment. I'm going to go see the doctor. I made the appointment, saw the doctor. He looked at me. He said, you're too young. I said, no, you need to go look for something. And he did. And he found something. It was a carcinoid tumor in my colon. And had I not gone to the doctor, had I not checked it out, I would have never known. And 4 or 5 years later, I would have been dead. I said, well, let me check my entire body. That same time.
I should go.
And I said, let me check my entire body. Sure enough, I had a lump in my breast. So that week, I had the lump removed on a Tuesday in my breast and the lump in my colon removed on a Thursday. I was like, oh my goodness. This lumps and bumps is after me. I was 38 at the time.
You're in it.
And it's a good thing that, here again, follow my instincts, kind of like God speaks to us in different ways. So what made me have the double mastectomy was one morning I was contemplating. I spent 10 months without doing any surgery. I was not doing surgery. No way. I'm not going to let them put their hands on me. I'm not going to let them put their hands on me. So forth and so on. I get up one morning, I turn the television on. I hadn't watched television in about 6-7 months. The morning that I put the television on, Wendy Williams. Oh, it's breast cancer, Mom. We have somebody in the audience. Okay, so tell us about yourself. Well, my mom had breast cancer, and I had breast cancer. Tell me about those shoes you're wearing. Oh, these shoes? These are my double mastectomy shoes. I said, really? Really, God? Really? I really started shouting like that in my kitchen counter. Just like, really? The day that I turned the television on, that's what I saw. And that just made me come to that decision, which I was not going to. And I talked about it. I preached about it. I told everyone on Facebook, I'm not doing it. I don't care what they say. I'm not cutting. And I had great holistic people encouraging me not to. And sure enough, I was like, guess what, guys? Click, click. I had surgery. That is why I had surgery. I said, okay, I'll be the guinea pig, but I will not shut my mouth. I will be the guinea pig. I have 3 women who I'm coaching. I'm a health coach. I coach. I share my story. I have my coach who coaches me, who has who's the nurse, the holistic practitioner, and we work together. 3 women who I've been coaching who's able to keep their breasts and say, Ruby, thank you. It was God who brought you to me to share your story, to encourage me, to give me that encouragement that I needed while I was fighting through Mexico, trying to figure this out and learning so much. But I learned so much more about just breast cancer, but about the entire world. And I said, children, adults, we all need to receive it that way. Criminal justice system, the health system, education system, it's all a system. Right now, I want to share a quick video with you and what I learned about what's happening in the world and how we're sick. You have aches and pains. You have things that's happening in your body you can't explain. Cancer, diabetes, heart disease, high cholesterol. Let me show you where a lot of it. First of all, you eat all the processed packaged foods. That's a whole nother. We don't have enough time for that. But I want to show you this video. This video is going to explain a lot of what's happening or why we have all the issues that we do. So let's watch this video. Any volume? What is that? That's spaghetti, right? Like spaghetti? Parasites. 50% of Americans have parasites. Why do we have the aches and pains and things that's happening in our body? Parasites. It steals and robs all of your nutrients, your vitamins, things that are happening in your body. Parasites.
About 3, 4, 5 times.
You could be leading a healthy lifestyle. You could be jogging, eating raw food, taking vitamins, and all those kind of things. But these guys don't care. These guys are
Do you think parasites are connected with a lot of the diseases we have today?
No.
I think it exists. I don't think it's a big problem.
Are you interested in knowing what parasites do to you?
Probably. I mean, yeah.
Probably not for me. Yeah, this doesn't really interest me.
It's a very big issue. At the beginning, I didn't believe that I had parasites.
People need to cleanse more often.
I did. I had parasites. I was nasty.